Hi everyone, Slickbrick here. Welcome to another exciting LEGO news video. The 1989 Eldorado Fortress, or Governor's Fort set 6276, is arguably one of the most iconic sets in the LEGO Pirate series, along with the Black Seas Barracuda. And it's being re-released in July as LEGO 10320 Eldorado Fortress, with a modern twist. Yesterday, the set was officially unveiled in the LEGO online store with all the images and info. I pass these on to you in this video and also make a comparison with the original. With its 2509 pieces, the new LEGO Eldorado Fortress is much more extensive than the original from the wave of the very first pirate sets, which contained only 462 bricks. On the one hand, this is due to the fact that the new version no longer uses a 3D base plate and the base must be built. But on the other hand, LEGO has also given the new interpretation a bonus that comes from another legendary pirate or soldier set. More on that later in the video. The LEGO Eldorado Fortress will go on VIP pre-sale on July 4th and will be available to all customers on July 7th, but initially exclusively in the LEGO online store and LEGO stores. The new Eldorado Fortress, like the Barracuda Bay and even more consistently the Castle of the Lion Knights, picks up the classic cartoon design of the Legoland era. This can be seen at first glance by the yellow border of the box and the banderole in the upper left corner, where now instead of the Legoland lettering, however, the set name is written. Among the 2509 parts of the set, which comes completely without stickers, are 8 minifigures, namely 2 pirates and 6 soldiers from the Bluecoats faction. Exactly like the original from 1989, although only male minifigures were included back then. In addition to the fortress, which, as the back of the packaging shows, is modular, you also get a single-masted merchant ship for an MSRP of €214.99, which bears a striking resemblance to the ship from LEGO 6277 Freeport. This set is now even more desirable and valuable than the original LEGO Eldorado Fortress, so this bonus should please many fans. Due to the modular construction of the new Eldorado Fortress, you can even arrange this in an alternative way, the construction of which is somewhat reminiscent of the Freeport. A joint build with friends and family is also favored by the modularity. Fortunately, LEGO has also included the most important graphic elements, such as the large printed flag of the Bluecoats and the printed sail of the ship, in the new version. Other details such as the governor's two-pointed hat, the original of which alone costs over €30 when new, have also been incorporated into the set in updated form. Here you can see the other official pictures of the Eldorado Fortress. Besides the detailed shots of the set, this time the box is also very interesting because despite the age recommendation 18+, which is admittedly only to be understood as marketing, it deviates from the usual black design and picks up the design of the original. That's why there is no graphic on the back to indicate the size, but among other things, pictures of the changed arrangement of the modules, which is reminiscent of the alternative building suggestion on the box backs off the earlier sets. The primary model for the new LEGO Eldorado Fortress 10320 is of course the legendary 6276 Eldorado Fortress or Governor's Fort from 1989, which appeared in the wake of LEGO's very first wave of pirates and introduced the Bluecoats as an antagonist. 3 years later, those were replaced by the Redcoats, who also received a large base, namely LEGO 6277 Freeport. Both sets are now difficult to get in good condition, especially in the case of the Freeport. The sails of the ship included have often suffered over the years. It is precisely that ship, a single-masted ship with a printed mainsail, that LEGO is now reviving along with the Governor's Fort, which is why I will make a comparison with both sets next. The box design is clearly based on the LEGO Eldorado Fortress 6276. As mentioned before, at that time all playsets had a yellow border and a yellow diagonal stripe with the words Legoland in the upper left corner. It wasn't until 1992 that this was replaced by the system lettering and the yellow border also disappeared, which even resulted in different cardboard versions for some sets. However, not only the color design, but also the placement of the LEGO logo in the upper right corner and the chosen background of the new set are strongly reminiscent of the original. The similarities continue on the back of the box. Both the old and the new fort have a nautical chart with a compass rose in the upper left corner. Stylistically, the new map is a bit more modern and was obviously created on the computer, which can be seen among other things in the identical copies of the palm trees, while the old map was still hand-drawn. Where the new back shows detail shots and the modular changeability of the new Eldorado Fortress, the old set featured alternative building inspiration, as was common at the time, though no instructions were included. Unlike the new set, the old version also had a lid that could be flipped open on the front to reveal some special parts and minifigures, and also provided another area for pictures on the underside of the lid. With the old set, the detailed pictures of the main model were therefore found in this place. The dominant element of the earlier Eldorado Fortress was, of course, the 3D plate, which gave the set considerable volume in one fell swoop. However, since LEGO has not been making such base plates for years, and it was hardly likely that they would be reintroduced just for this new edition, the rock base of the Governor's Fortress had to be built from regular bricks. Obviously, great importance was attached to capturing the look of the ramp at the entrance gate. With the help of various round tiles, including the still quite new 1x2 oval tiles that first appeared in light grey in 2023, this was achieved well. The other essential design elements have also been captured, though modernized in places and supplemented in additional details such as the balustrade in front of the lower cannon. Overall, the new set, whose footprint is roughly the same as the original, is of course much more small-scale in design, which means that the red-brown wall accents, for example, have been solved structurally instead of resorting to printed parts as in the past. The more small-scale construction, especially omission of the base plate, naturally creates new play possibility beyond purely visual details. For example, the Eldorado Fortress has a conspicuously small cave underneath the prison, from which water runs, that almost looks like as if a minifigure could slide on it. So it's strong to assume that there is a way to escape from the prison by means of a hidden trapdoor or in a similar way. In addition, a kind of treasure chamber can be seen in the basement. Of course, the loading crane should not be missing, especially since the new version of the set also includes a matching ship that can be loaded or unloaded. Some palm trees enhance the set visually. The original contained only one, but with a great multi-part and thus flexible trunk, which is no longer available today. In addition, the new LEGO Eldorado Fortress comes also with a parrot and a monkey, and of course lots of accessories like weapons, keys, torches, dishes, and so on. Let's now take a closer look at the ship and boat. The rowboat could be a highlight, as it appears here in dark brown for the first time. The former brown color is no longer available from LEGO, so it's great that a completely new color has been given here. Many will also be happy about the new edition of the One Master from the LEGO 6277 Imperial Trading Post Freeport, which expands the own fleet with a ship that is not a pirate or naval ship for once, even if a dedicated crew for it is unfortunately missing. The sail of the new version even have, as far as one can tell, the same or at least a very similar size as those of the 1992 original, so that one will probably also be able to use them on the old ship with minimal modifications due to the different number of holes. In addition to the fact that some female figures are now included, what is most noticeable here is the revision of the torsos. These have been modernized for the ordinary soldiers and officers, but still remain very close to the original at the time, while the governor has been revised more. The governor is also clearly older than in the earlier set, where he was still depicted with a black beard. The governor's two-pointed head is made of white base material with black imprint, as it was then, but its design has also been slightly adjusted so that the parts can be distinguished from each other. While in 1989 there were 4 ordinary soldiers, 1 officer and the governor, this time there are 2 female officers with different epaulets, which probably indicate different ranks, and 1 soldier less. The new LEGO Eldorado Fortress appears somewhat less opulent in design than the Barracuda Bay, with which it is probably most comparable in terms of theme, scale and price. However, the original naturally offers far fewer options for creative shenanigans if it is so to be reasonably faithful to the original. LEGO has therefore decided to include a ship in the interests of greater play value, rather than making the scale smaller or alternatively putting a lot more parts into the building. The right decision in my opinion. Due to the same watercolor and the implied sandy beach, the LEGO Eldorado Fortress can be combined well with Barracuda Bay. Only the effect of the possibly somewhat too small size in comparison remains to be seen. The alternative would have been for LEGO to almost double the number of bricks and thus the price, like the much more complex Lion Knight's castle, to use another large retro set as a comparison. However, who is supposed to pay for all this? I am therefore pleased that it has remained with a set with a focus on the play value, which will also be available after some time, hopefully at a good price with discounts. What do you think of the new LEGO Eldorado Fortress? Does the set appeal to you, and if so, does it do so primarily because of nostalgic feelings towards the original or on its own merits? How well do you think LEGO captured the spirit of the original? Do you agree that not making the set even bigger and more expensive was a good thing? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you like to see the new Disney Hocus Pocus set, which will be released in July, just click or tap the screen to go and watch that video. I'm Slick Brick and I love making these LEGO videos for you, so smash the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and I'll catch you in the next one.